Hello everyone and welcome back to the pond. My name is Frank, aka Bullfrog TCG, and today we are taking the Misfortune Bounty Hunter for another spin. So in set 1, I struggled really hard to kind of build a mid-range, like functioning mid-range Misfortune list. But that was just impossible in set 1, so I just had to kind of concede and go for a Dazzling Aurora build instead, which, I mean, Dazzling Aurora is strong, but it's also the most boring way to build an orange deck in my opinion. But now, with set 2, we actually have the opportunity to build a functioning Misfortune mid-range list, which is really cool. But before we get into the deck list, if you enjoy this video and you want to see more from me, then please take the time to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe write a comment. It really helps support the channel, and I will be forever grateful. So, Misfortune, of course, says Exhaust, give a unit ganking this turn. So this ability is, of course, very good with cards that are big, but also have extra kind of synergies when they conquer battlefields. And there are a bunch of different directions you can go with this deck. Like I've seen another mid-range list that was very different from mine. But this is just one version. So in the Champion Zone, we are playing the Misfortune Captain. I mean, Accelerate ganking the first time I move each turn, you may ready something else that's Exhausted. A really powerful ability to just, I mean, by itself it comes out swinging right away for a 5 might, which is not bad. And also it readies something that's at a battlefield to kind of bring it back to base to keep it safe, for example. You can also attack into a battlefield with a big unit, play this out, go into the same battlefield with this unit and then ready that one, give that one ganking, and then move over to the other one. So you can be pretty flexible with this ability, and that's what I like about it, like the flexibility. But okay, for the rest of the units, we are playing the Triple Treasure Hunter, of course, my favorite card in the whole game. When I move, play Gold Gear Token Exhausted. This deck can get pretty power hungry, which I feel like I say about every deck, but yeah, that is true. This deck is known for being pretty power hungry, and getting some of that power discounted is pretty nice. We're also playing the Triple Illusion, a really powerful inclusion to the deck, because this card by itself, in combination with the Legend ability, can conquer both battlefields, which is really nice. It's also just a really nice way to get points and then just move them back again, so it doesn't have to get attacked into. And then we are playing the Double Action for the gear removal in main deck. I mean, what's nice about this one is, again, the flexibility. You can play this out to grab a gear, and if you're playing against something that doesn't really have that many gears, you can just play it out for 4/4, which is just an on-rate stat. I mean, this card is, it's pretty pushed for what it does, I think. Being on-rate and having that ability in addition is pretty insane. And then we're playing the Jinx Rebel. So 5 energy, 1 power, 5 might. When you discard 1 or more cards, ready me and give me +1 might this turn. So, I mean, what's really nice about this one if you have ways to discard cards, then this can do the full cycle of battlefields and then just move back to the base because of the Legend ability. So with this, we are also running the Doran's Ring. And what's nice about this one is that you can just play this out, equip it to something else to give that small stat boost, but then also be able to just like dig for your other cards to kind of cycle through your deck. And if you have the combination of Doran's Ring and the Misfortune, then this is going to be able to conquer this as something ready, give it ganking with a Legend ability, conquer the other battlefield, discard ready, and then move back to the base. So that combination makes it so that you can conquer both battlefields every turn without having to committing to a hold, which is really nice, and that is why I'm running this one. And then we're also playing the Triple Carnivorous Snapvine. I mean, Snapvine is one of my favorite cards. Nowadays, it's a lot more viable because we usually don't have to deal with Smokescreen, which was kind of the downfall for this one. But now when that card is not as played, then this card becomes a lot better. So I really like Snapvine. We're also playing the Double Rune Runner, because Rune Runner is just a card that is impossible for certain decks to get rid of. So we are playing 2 of those. And then we are playing the Draven Audacious, so 6 energy, 1 power, 6 might. Deflect, the first time I win a combat each turn, you score 1 point. And when I die in combat, you choose an opponent and they score 1 point. I mean, this is also just another win con for us. We can play this out, and then next turn we can attack, conquer, hopefully get an extra point if your opponent has units there, and then we can use the Misfortune to ready him and then move into the other battlefield to do the same thing with the ganking from the Legend ability. So this is a really cool card like that. It does have Deflect, so it's a bit annoying for your opponent to get rid of. And then if you equip it with the Doran's Ring, for example, then it's going to be 7 might, so it can't be taken out by Falling Star or Singularity, which is really nice. But yeah, that is the unit lineup. But for the spells, we are running the Triple Punch First, because Punch First is an insane card. Play this on a Rune Runner, and some decks are just going to crumble. Yeah, but I mean, 1 energy plus 5 might. It does cost 2 power, so it is expensive, of course. But yeah, plus 5 might for 1 energy is pretty insane. We're also playing the Triple Flash, the Triple Fight or Flight, and the Double Rebuke. Flash is really good to keep your guys safe when you're getting attacked into. Also just blank removal spells, stuff like that. Fight or Flight kind of does the same thing. It can also be used offensively, of course. Rebuke is just really nice to take care of big stuff that we can't swing over, because we're not necessarily going that tall. Unless we can chain like Punch First, there is a limit to how tall we can get, and Rebuke is going to be really life-saving against decks like Ornn, for example. If they get like 30 might Ornn, we're never going to be able to beat over that, but we can Rebuke it if they don't have the counterspell. So That is the purpose for this one. And then we're of course playing the challenge to just take care of stuff in the base mainly, but also you can use this to take care of just stuff in the battlefield as well. So yeah, really good card there. And then for the gear, we're playing 1 Seal of Strength for the extra comfort. We're playing the double Ornn's Ring to combo with the Jinx, of course. And then also, as I said, if you equip this to the Draven or the Carnivore Snapvine, then both of those are going to be on 7 might. So they can't be destroyed by Falling Star or Singularity, which is nice. And also just like digs into the deck to find the cards you need, finds the Jinx faster, and yeah, it's just a really nice like consistency tool for the deck, I think. And then we're also playing the double Spirit Wheel, so 2 energy for a gear that says when you choose a friendly unit you may pay 1 energy and exhaust this to draw 1. This card is incredibly powerful in Misfortune because you can always choose a unit with a legend ability. So even if you're not going to use it for anything, you can just choose something, pay 1 energy to draw 1. So this effectively just becomes a 1 energy, draw 1 every single turn. So if you ever have like 1 energy to spare, you can just pay 1 energy, draw a card. Really powerful. And then for the final gear, we are playing the triple Bone Shiver, 3 energy, equip is 1 energy and a power, it gives +2 might and 1 conquer, channel 1 rune exhausted. Again, power hungry, having a bit of ramp is really nice. It also gives extra stats, so this is going to bring all of the more important cards out of range of Singularity and a Falling Star, which is always something you have to be aware of. So yeah, really good card there. For the battlefields, we are running the Vilemal's Lair. Units can't move from here to base. This doesn't really hurt us as much as it does our opponent because we can always just gank over to the other battlefield, so we never have to like be stuck here. But this is really nice to kind of trap your opponent there. If they attack with a small unit and then you play down the Draven, for example, then that unit is going to get eaten up. And if they want to overcommit into that battlefield, then you can punish that as well. So it's a really nice battlefield to just like trap your opponent's stuff there, trap their Kai'Sa, trap their like draw stuff, trap the things they want to kind of move in and out with. Really nice battlefield there. You do have to be very aware of when you move in here, because if you're sitting on cards like Fight or Flight or Flash to kind of move stuff back, then these won't work. So that is something that you have to be very aware of when you're attacking into this battlefield. So it does take a bit of planning to play around this, but if you can play around this, then it becomes really effective. They're also playing the Sunken Temple. When you conquer here with 1 or more mighty units, you may pay 1 energy to draw 1. A lot of our units are mighty, so this is just going to draw us a card very consistently. And then for the final one, we are playing the Zon Warrens. When you conquer here, discard 1, then draw 1. Obviously for the obvious synergy with the Jinx, but also just like, again, to have a bit more consistency to get the cards we need. So yeah, and then for the runes, we are playing the 6/6 split. For the sideboard, we are playing the double Sabotage, the double Bullet Time, the 1 Rebuke, the double First Mate, and the 1 Warwick. Warwick is also a card we could play in the main deck, but I think it's a bit too inconsistent if we don't hit like the damage dealing cards as well. So for now, we are running the combo of Warwick and the Bullet Time in the sideboard in case we need that. Sabotage, of course, to take care of our opponent's annoying stuff. Rebuke as an extra way to take care of big stuff. And then finally, the double First Mate in case we want some extra mobility in the deck. So yeah, that is going to be the sideboard. And that is going to be the entire deck. That is going to be Beatdown Pirates. We are going to jump into some games to see this deck in action. I really hope you enjoy them, and I will see you at the end for the wrap-up. And game 1, we are playing against Master Yi. We are on the Zon Warrens. Our opponent is on the Forge of the Fluffed. So let's see how this goes. We have a pretty stacked hand here. We have the double Snapvine and the Draven and the Jinx. But thankfully also a turn 1 play in the Treasure Hunter here. Our opponent just plays out his Honest Hourglass. Okay. Just gonna play out the Bone Shiver here. Equip it to the Treasure Hunter. Yeah, we're just gonna go into the Zon Warrens here. Get some discard, get an extra rune, or I mean get the rune back, I guess. Just gonna get rid of the Draven here. Probably don't need that. We value the removal spells over the Draven, because then we can kind of play around the pump from the Master Yi. Okay, I place that on a Vori Scout. We draw into the Illusion here. Gonna go into the Forge of the Fluff battlefield. Conquer again. Channel another rune. So now we're actually ramping, so that's nice. That is very nice. So we can play out the Jinx here. We can also play out the Illusion if you want to. We have some options. We also drew the ring, which is nice, so we kind of have the full combo. Okay, we're just gonna play out the Illusion first. Use the Weapon Master to equip it to him, because this Treasure Hunter is probably getting attacked into anyways. So yeah, we're also gonna play out the Doran's Ring and pass to him. He attacks it with a Scout. Yeah, that's fine. You can take that. What's nice about the Forge of the Fluff is we can kind of be Jax. We can equip to both. Okay, place a Rune Runner. Well, that is a card that could become a problem here. So now we have the ability to play the Jinx. Go in with Illusion. Get a Rune. Discard 1. We're gonna discard a Snapvine, unfortunately. Draw Punch Force. Okay, Punch Force is really nice. Jinx goes to 6. And then we can equip with the ring, go to 7. Even if he has a Punch First here, we have our own. And he does. Okay, well, that's fine. We have our own. I mean, we'd rather not use it here, but if we have to, we will. Yep. Okay, we get that. Get another point. Discard the Rebuke. And okay, find a challenge. challenge could be nice. And here we're actually going to use the Misfortune ability to, or the Forge of the Fluffed ability to equip the Bone Shiver to the Jinx instead, because that is now going to be our main way of attacking. And that can also, by itself, like without any other enhancements, we can swing over the Rune Runner here. The Forge of the Fluffed is a very interesting battlefield. It's especially good in decks that don't have exhaust abilities, which we do, but now we actually got some value out of it. Okay, he's gonna go attacking with an Avoid Scout. Discard one, draw one. He's gonna attack with a Rune Runner. Yeah, the Rune Runner is kind of the card we want to beat here. And then he's going to... Ooh, he's spending a lot of energy. Okay, another one. And a Hidden Guard, okay. I mean, we for sure attack into the Avoid Scout first here. We're actually gonna Snapvine first, in case he has a punch first, because if he has that, then we can't actually stop that. So we're gonna kill the Scout here, hopefully. If he has an on guard, then so be it. Then we got that out of his hand, and we know we can't use that on the Rune Runner. Then that hidden card is probably his Honest Hourglass, I would assume. Okay, that dies. Now we can go in, get the double discard. Rune Runner, and... yeah, we're just gonna take the challenge here. Challenge is probably not gonna do much. Find another Jinx, so that's not gonna help us either. Yeah, and I mean, that hidden card is probably a, as I said, the Honest Hourglass. So now he probably has a punch first in hand, I would assume. And because of that, we are going to swing in with both the Illusion and the Jinx here. Yep. So that he can only go to 12 with the Master Yi ability. Yeah, that's an Hourglass. Okay, so we are going to take this battlefield here. And unfortunately, our Jinx is going to die. But she already did a lot of work this game. Yep. The Illusion is of course going to ready and move back again. And that is kind of the thing we want to do with this. To kind of take both battlefields, move back so nothing is staying in the base. I mean, Master Yi is kind of the worst deck to do that with because he also always gets the defense boost. Okay, he's going to charm the Jinx. Well, that sucks. So our Jinxes are both gone now. But we are so far ahead and he has one card in hand. Okay, he's going to play Discipline. Oh, never mind. Okay, so he oh yeah, he played the Discipline, drew a card, and then he discarded the On Guard and drew another one. It's kind of the weird thing about the Zon Warns. If you don't want to discard the card you have in hand, then it's kind of awkward to attack into it. But okay, he has one card. Okay, well, we just disconnected. Yeah, I mean, he's very far behind. We're probably just going to be able to go into one battlefield and hold here because we can equip the Snapvine with both the Bone Shiver and the Dornstring to bring that up to 9. And then even if he has like an On Guard or a Discipline, that is still just gonna bring this up to 9 with the Legend ability. So we're gonna be able to stay here. And I mean, at that point he can attack us with the Master Yi, but then we can also just play out the Rune Runner and the Treasure Hunter in the battlefield to kind of just sit there. So the odds of him winning here were not high, but yeah. But okay, yeah, really good game. It kind of showcased the whole purpose of this deck is to kind of use Illusion and the Jinx to kind of do the whole cycle and then move back in. So yeah, let's see if we can do that again. And game 2 is going to be against Ornn. We are on the Sunken Temple. Our opponent is on the Aspirant Climb, so this is going to be a long game. We do have the Auction in the opening hand, so we do have some way of taking care of gears here. We're just going to play out the double Dornstring. We don't really have a turn 1 play here. This being a bit energy efficient is never a bad thing. Okay, he's going to find a Svelsonger. So now he has that. Okay. And another Apprentice Smith and a Guardian Angel. Okay, so he has all the gears here. Do a Draven. Not really our favorite thing to do, to play the Misfortune on turn 2, but sometimes that is the only option you realistically have. So yeah, we just kind of have to go for that. Okay, he's gonna go find another Svelsonger. Wow. He has all the gears here, so the Ornn is gonna be tricky to get rid of. We do have the Rebuke in hand, so we can potentially use that later on. Okay, he's gonna play another Guardian Angel and Svelsonger. At this point, I think we're probably just gonna grab one of those grab one of those Guardian Angels with the Auction. We're also considering just going for the Draven here. But doing that, we kind of tap ourselves out, and then we don't really have any follow-up, because we can play out the Draven, attack with the Misfortune into the Sunken Temple, ready the Draven, and then attack into the Apprentice Smith to get an extra point. But if he has some way of pumping up his Apprentice Smith then he's just going to kill our Draven and get an extra point himself. So that's pretty risky to do when you don't have any. If we were on 7 energy, then that would have been a lot better, because then we could have held the punch first up as well. But yeah, we're just gonna play the Auction and grab a Guardian Angel here. We could have drawn a Svelsonger as well, but in case he has a Charm, then he can just take care of the Auction with that. So we did this instead. Because now that he's never gonna get that Guardian Angel back unless he destroys it. Okay, I placed Ornn. Equips it to the Guardian Angel. Okay, the Ornn game is live here. Yep. We don't have a way of taking care of that yet. They drew the Rune Runner, which, I mean, it's not really gonna do as much in this game, but we are gonna play him out. He doesn't cost a power, which is nice. We can also move the Misfortune back to get the rune back, which, I mean, we don't have any orange runes now, which is kind of silly, so we can't even play the punch first, even if we had the opportunity to. Okay, yep, he's going to find another. Okay, ooh, Ezreal. He's playing a list that is very similar to ours. Maybe this is our list that we played. I guess I didn't play the Apprentice Smith myself, but it's very similar. Okay, here's another Sveltsonger. Yep. Equips that. Yep. Yeah, and by now, like already, the Ornn is out of range. Okay, that is probably an Hourglass, I would assume. Another Guardian Angel. Jesus Christ. He found a triple Guardian Angel and double Sveltsonger. And a Poro Snacks here, okay. I mean, this Rebuke is kind of our way of getting this game now. Yeah, that is never gonna die, that Ornn, unfortunately. So this Rebuke has to work overtime. Yeah, we're gonna go in here. He has a Wages of Pain. Okay, well. That's fine, that's just gonna pop our Hourglass. I'm sorry, I mean his Hourglass. Yeah, we are not gonna play the auction into the trash, of course. Yep, he's gonna get a gold off that, of course, which grows the Ornn. Annoyingly, but not much you can do about that. Yeah, we're gonna play the Draven here. Get a point. We're just gonna ready a rune. And he plays Consult the Past. Okay, that's fine. Then a Poro Snacks. Okay, the Ornn is enormous, so as long as he doesn't find the Shirelli's Requiem, then we still have a chance here. I mean, he's on 6 points, so he's ahead of us. So we go to 6. And he has 2 energy up. That is kind of the scary part about playing into Ornn, is that if that's not so fast, because we kind of have to Rebuke here. I mean, we can wait another turn, but I think this is as good as time as any. Because we kind of deny him, because he can potentially draw 3 more cards next turn to potentially find him not so fast. So we kind of have to go for it here, but the problem is, like, if he has not so fast, then we just lose because we're going to be on 1 energy. Because we have to play 6 Deflect and 2 power for the Rebuke itself. So this could be a massive blowout. But if we can move him back, then we're probably just going to win, because then we can go into the battlefield, go to 7, and then he probably is not going to be able to rush us down, so we can just hold into 9. Yeah, Rebuke that, pay 6 Deflect, pay 8 power. Okay, that's wages. That's not going to do anything. He's going to get a gold. Yep. Oh my god, we did it. Okay. Okay, no, not so fast. That's good. So we're back in the game. Now we're just building up these battlefields in case he has a Charm. I mean, Charm wouldn't really do anything here because we could have just attacked into it next turn anyways. And yeah, that is the Desperation draw, so that is very good. He is popping his Poro Snacks. Playing another one, okay. Pop that as well. Yes sir, draw. And by now I was like, okay, that's 5 energy. He's not gonna get this. Yeah, GG's. Ooh, yeah, the Azir, that would have been a problem. But yeah, he had the Double Defy. Double Defy. No, not so fast. And sometimes that's just how the dice rolls, I guess. Ooh, that was a good one. And game 3 is going to be against Leona. We are on the Sunken Temple again. Our opponent is on the Star-Tipped Peak. And let's see how this goes. We have the Jinx in our opening hand. And we drew the ring. Okay, so we have the full setup here. But we are playing into Jinx, who runs Charms and also stuns. So doing the whole cycle thing can be difficult. Okay, he's gonna play the Misfortune. Now we drew the Spirit wheel, which is nice. Just gonna play out the Jinx. If he wants to charm our Jinx here, then we do have the punch first. Oh, okay, he's just gonna pass. That's good. So now we can actually do the full cycle. Gonna equip the Bone Shiver as well. Yeah, let's just pretend we play the Seal first, because that was of course the correct thing to do. We ask our opponent kindly, and he says that sure, that's fine. Thank you, opponent. Yeah, I make some misplays sometimes, which we should all know by now. Yeah, we're gonna equip the Drawing Ring as well, of course. Gonna go into the Sunken Temple. Get a point, get a rune. Do we want to get a draw? We want to discard draw first. We're just gonna get rid of the punch first. That is one of those situations where it's not really, you don't really want to discard anything, but I think probably the Spirit Wheel was the correct move there, to just discard that. Yeah, we're gonna play the Spirit Wheel out now. Give it ganking, give the Jinx ganking. Get another draw. Yep, go into the started peak, get another discard draw, get another rune, get another point. We're gonna discard the Draven, get a treasure hunter here. Okay, now we pass back them. So now we did the full cycle, which was really nice. We're still safe. We actually managed to, I mean, we didn't ramp anything, but we stayed even at least. So if we can do that again, that would be really nice. We do have a Fight or Flight in case he wants to do anything stupid here. Okay, that's a Blitzcrank. Well, I think we just kind of have to go for the Fight or Flight here. Okay, that's a Defy. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, but we are going to be able to take care of the Blitzcrank. Or, I mean, we're going to be able to take care of one of his Hourglasses, which does not feel as good. But we do have the Snapvine here. And it is risky to try to go for the Leona here, because if he has an on guard, then he's just going to kill our guy as well. Unfortunately, he didn't, so... And now we're going to play Evolution, equipped with the Bone Shiver for the with the Weapon Master ability, and pass back to him. Oh, salvage on the Bone Shiver, that sucks. Well, no more ramping for us, but I mean we are on 8 runes, so we go into the 10th, so we probably don't need the ramp that much anymore. And we also have the Seal out. And we have the double treasure hunter in case we need that. He has even more protection, okay. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna go into the Socket Temple with a Snapvine. Pay 1, draw 1. Get an Akshan. Okay, Akshan is nice. We can steal his Hourglass with that. No, his Guardian Angel with that, which is pretty cool. We're gonna go into the starter peak, get a point, move him back. Then we can play the Rune Runner. Use the ganking ability, just draw 1. Oh, such a good combo. We drew the challenge. That's very interesting. So we can potentially use the challenge, because I mean he is gonna attack into our Snapvine here. So if he does that, then we can potentially use the challenge just to take care of like the Blitzcrank, for example. He's gonna stun that. Yeah, I mean that happens, unfortunately. What's nice now is that we can actually try to rebuke the Leona. And in case he he doesn't have a not so fast. And now the Blitzcrank is just gonna get bounced back in case he doesn't have a buff spell, which he didn't, or a pump spell, which he didn't. He's gonna play another Leona, or I mean the same Leona. Yep, and pass back to us. Okay, that's a very good turn for us. He didn't attack into the other battlefield, which I guess makes sense, because the Jinx was just gonna get blown back anyways. But now we can potentially steal that Guardian Angel. That is something that we can do. Ooh, another Akshan, okay. Gonna go in here, we're gonna draw one off the Spirit Wheel again. We're gonna play the Akshan, steal the Hourglass. No, steal the Guardian Angel, Jesus. Yep, thank you. We're not as flexible in this deck as we are in Jax, because there we can kind of move the Guardian Angel around to protect whatever we want to protect. We do have the challenge as well, so he doesn't have a not so fast, because if he had that, then he for sure would have not so fast with the rebuke. He can still have a Defy, which means that this challenge can get just taken. Yeah, we are gonna try to challenge Leona here. That's a Call to Glory. Okay, well that's annoying. Yeah, I should have played around that. I should have for sure just have equipped the other Dorn's Ring as well. If I did that, then that would have gone through, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're just gonna play out the Treasure Hunter. We are gonna allow him to attack into our Snapvine here. Fortunately, with the stun, that is just going to be like that. Yeah, we should have definitely equipped the Dorn's Ring there. Played around the Call to Glory. I totally forgot about that one. But okay, it is what it is. We do have quite a threatening board here, and I mean, okay, it does charm something. It charms our Akshan. Okay, Akshan dies. But so does one of his guys, unless he has a... Okay, has a Rune Prison. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. He's gonna pump up the Xinjiao here. Okay, yep, that's fine. Goes into the Sunken Temple, gets to draw as well. Okay, he has 4 energy left. Then he passed us. Okay, we have triple Doran's Ring. For now we're only playing 2, but I did play 3 in the beginning. Maybe we can equip something here. We're actually gonna draw one first. Ooh, Snapvine is very nice. Snapvine allows us to take care of this Jinxiao before committing to an attack. Or the Leona. We're actually gonna take that one instead. Okay, so not so fast. Okay, so we do not so fast. Well, that's good getting that one out of it. Now we're gonna equip to the Rune Runner, the Doran's Ring. Yeah, we're gonna equip the other one as well. Go to 7. So we don't just get blown out by an on guard. And like here as well. Here as well. I probably could have just equipped the third Ornn's Ring as well. Just because if he has Call to Glory, then we can at least trade. But, you know, I didn't do that, so... Okay, as a discipline. Okay, well... In that case, should have used the Dorn's Ring. We do trade here. But the nice thing now is that I don't really think he runs any Accelerate. Because here we're going to attack in with the Treasure Hunter, and we're actually going to play the other Treasure in there. We're not going to attack the Illusion, because the reason we're going in with both of these is that he can't just move his Blitzcrank back and then play that and move our guy out of the way. Because this way we kind of force him to have something else to be able to go in here, or move our guy out of the way. If not, we're just going to hold into victory. We're not going to go in with Illusion, because if he has like a way to get rid of both of those, then so be it. But this also makes our next turn a lot better, because we can potentially attack with both of these. So that is why we did it like this. But okay, he is of course going to get the Blitzcrank back. Okay, he's going to play an Emperor's Divide. Yep. So we did have a way to take care of that, so it's good that we didn't commit the Illusion as well. And what's nice now is that we can, next turn, we can potentially like go in with Illusion into Started Peak, and then play the Misfortune and go in with both Misfortune, Illusion, and Snapvine into the Leona. And he plays the Blitzcrank. Okay, he takes care of the Illusion. Yep, Illusion dies, unfortunately. We draw the Flash, that's not going to help us here. But I mean, we do have the extra draw of the Misfortune, the Spirit Wheel ability. Okay, what do we find? Another Snapvine. Okay, well that's just going to seal it. That's going to seal the deal. We can play this, take care of the Blitzcrank, and then we can go in with the other Snapvine. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we got there in the end. A really close game. Really back and forth as well. And those are kind of the games I like playing. But you really see the power of the Snapvine. It's such a powerful card when your opponent doesn't have a way to respond to it. And I just thought of, like, in Rengar, you can actually play the Snapvine and then use the Rengar ability first. So the Snapvine is going to be 7 might, and then it can deal 7 damage to one of your opponent units to take care of a 6 might. Huh, interesting. Maybe that's a way to go, to play Snapvine and Rengar. But anyways, that is going to have to wait until set 3 releases. But yeah, another good game. Let's see if we can keep the wins going. And game 4 is going to be against Jinx. We are on the Vilemon's Lair. Our opponent is on the Zone of Warrens. So let's see how this goes. We do have the Treasure Hunter lead here, or potentially the Illusion, since we are going second. Our opponent is going to lead off with the Merchant here. Then we're just going to play the Illusion, so we have the ability to trade into that if we want to. Okay, Chemtech and Force Root is going to discard a Fight or Flight. Okay, that's good for us. No discard targets is very good for us. He's going to go in with the Traveling Merchant into the Vilemon's Lair. I think that's very interesting. Why didn't he go into the Zone of Wardens? Because now he's going to get stuck there. But okay, that's fine. We're actually attacking into the Zone of Wardens here. I think we should have definitely just attacked into the Traveling Merchant. I guess I was afraid of something, but I don't really think there is anything to be afraid of at this point. From red and purple, like in Jinx at least. Like Fight or Flight doesn't work, Flash doesn't work, Rebuke does work, but it can't play that, so I guess it could have like a Hextech Crate, but in that case it could have played this now as well, so I think it was just correct to just attack into the Traveling Merchant and then go into the Zone of Wardens after that, because in that case we could have had the Flash to move the Illusion back if he attacked into us. So yeah, okay, that's a Super Mega Death Rocket. Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks. Okay, he has his own Doran's Ring. He is playing the Jinx himself. Or the purple Jinx himself. Okay, we're gonna get a gold here with the Treasure Hunter. We're gonna discard a card here. We're gonna discard a Fight or Flight, get a challenge. Okay, challenge could be nice, but not with this guy on the board. We're gonna play out the Ruin Runner. Ruin Runner can potentially do something here. It's not the best matchup for Ruin Runner, but he can't use his Death Rocket on it. So in case he plays like a Phoenix, then he can't get that back with it. Okay, he's going to stack deck. Yep. Attack with the Chemtech into the Treasure Hunter. Yeah, that's just gonna have to die there, unfortunately. Like, we really want him to play out his Jinx here. And not equip it to the Doran's Ring. play, not equip. Don't equip. Okay, it doesn't equip. That's good. Now we can equip with the Doran's Ring. Or the Bone Shiver. And then kill that. That's gonna be really good for us. Yeah, I should. Yeah, we're gonna play the Bone Shiver as well. Equip to the Ruin Runner. That's going to be a 7. Gonna go in here. Yep. Just got knocked down at this point. We don't really need that. We have our own Doran's Ring, so we don't need his. Yeah, we are for sure gonna play the challenge. Kill the Jinx. Yeah, that's good for us. That's very good for us. Okay, and pass to him. And then we have the Flash in case he comes in at us with something enormous here. Kind of have like a Darius Cleave, for example. That is something that he could definitely have. I wish we were Jinx here, because then we could have drawn an extra card with the Legend ability. Okay, it's just gonna play out Noxus Opal. Okay, that's a very bad turn for him. We're gonna equip the Doran's Ring to the Ruin Runner here. We're gonna attack into the Vilemon's Lair. Yep, we're going to get an extra rune, discard the illusion, draw an action. Okay, another card we don't need. And then again, being on the Valmos layer is a bit awkward. We can also play the Misfortune here, go into the Zone of Ornns, and then ready the Rune Runner, and then move him back. And of course, yeah, like this. And then now we have the Flash, in case we need that. So, like in this case, when we don't have those mobile units like the Jinx or the Lucian, then the Valmos layer kind of comes to bite us a bit in the ass, unfortunately. But with the Misfortune, we actually can stay safe anyways, because when we attack with the Rune Runner, move the Misfortune back, and then move the Rune Runner back. Okay, it's gonna attack in with a Noxus Shovel, discard of Flame Chompers. Is he gonna play it as well? He is, okay. That's good for him. That is good for him. So he has 2 energy floating here. Okay, plays another Flame Chompers from hand. Yeah, he is not drawing well here, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him, fortunately for us. Now we do the challenge. Like, we can't just challenge this Noxus Hopeful. Oh, never mind. We're gonna challenge the Flame Chompers at the back. Gonna go in with the Noxus Hopeful. No, in with the Rune Runner, I mean. Discard the action, get a Treasure Hunter. Yeah, we don't really need any of those cards. Can move back with the Rune Runner, play Treasure Hunter, and pass to him. And he's probably gonna have a really hard time getting rid of this Rune Runner here. But that is kind of the point as well. Oh, he has a Vayne. Okay, Vayne is interesting. I mean, we have the Flash. Okay, equips with the Doran's Ring here. Unlicensed Armory. Interesting, okay. I mean, that's not gonna be enough. Do you have anything else? Discard a Brinner. Okay, well, I'm glad we don't have to deal with that. Okay, attacks like this. Well, I mean, that's why we have the Flash, right? Sandbagging that Flash turned out to pay us back in the end. Very good for us. And fortunately, he is only on 4 energy. If he was on 6, then he could have moved the Vayne back to be able to play him again and go into the Valmos layer to go for the final point. But fortunately, he can't do that. So he discarded a Brazen Buccaneer. That is a very interesting card to play. Okay, he has a hidden card. We have the Punch first. We're gonna play the Punch first here. The reason I did this is I kind of brain fart a little bit, because I thought that, like, of course the card draw you get from being on 7 points doesn't quite a change, so that happens first. So you can't like layer that so that you discard draw with the Doran's Ring and then get like the 7-point draw. That's not how that works. So that's why I played the Punch first, because I thought in my head that I could draw 2 cards, but of course you can't. I just realized that a bit later, so I am gonna correct this. But yeah, I'm gonna play the Snapvine. So I would have seen both those cards anyways. And then I realized, no way, I can't do that. The Fight or Flight is actually in the trash. But now the nice thing is that we can attack with the Misfortune. If he has anything here, we can ready the Rune Runner and attack into that. And then in case it kills the Rune Runner, then we can equip with both of the guys to the Rune Runner. And okay, yeah, he just had a Tide Turner. Okay, fair enough. Got the win. Yeah, I mean, again, bit of a brain fart there. The 7 points might does not go in the chain. That just happens before any like unconquer abilities happen. So that didn't work. But I mean, in the end it turned out the same way, because we just discarded the Final Flight that we would have discarded anyways. Because we drew them in that order, we drew the Snapvine last. But I mean, in any case, we could have just like Fight or Flighted the Vayne back instead. So, like, in any case, it would have turned out the same way. But you know, that is the correct way to do things. But yeah, I mean, you kind of see the Valmos layer can kind of come back to bite us in the ass if we don't have the kind of mobility of cards like Jinx and Lucian. But with the Misfortune, we can kind of do the very expensive way of just moving this back and forth, and then moving the Rune Runner in and out like that. That also works. And of course, the reason we did that was because we had the Flash, and that Flash turned out to save us in the end. So yeah. But yeah, another good win. That is going to be 4 wins in a row. So let's see if we can get the 5th one as well. And game 5 is going to be against my favorite deck in the whole game as of now, Jax. We are again on the Valmos layer. Our opponent is on the Monastery of Hirana. So let's see how this goes. We do have the Jax. No, the Jax. We do have the Akshan. We do have the Akshan in case we want to take care of one of his gears, or at least borrow one of his gears, I should say. We don't have a turn 1 play. I mean, we do have the Spirit Wheel, but we'd rather lead off with a unit, you know. Okay, we draw the Rune Runner for turn. We fortunately only have to play the Spirit Wheel on turn 1. So he plays out a Lonely Poro. Again, we don't really want to play the Akshan. We want to save that for when we can actually use it. Play the Bone Shiver. Yeah, we're kind of falling behind already here. This is not the start we wanted. Like, him stealing our Bone Shiver here would be pretty bad. Okay, he's playing the Aphelios package. Goes into the Valmos lair here. Gets a point, yep. I mean, we're just gonna play out the Rune Runner. Rune Runner, not as good in this matchup, but it is our best play here. Because it doesn't cost a power. And it's not Akshan. So yeah, okay, he plays out the Jax here, unfortunately. I mean, if we can get a challenge here. Oh, if we can get a challenge, that would be so good. We're actually gonna go for it. A fight challenge? No, Jinx. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna equip the bunch over here. Attack into the Poro. Yep. Get an extra rune. Then we're gonna play out the Jinx and past him. Yeah, not getting in the challenge there was really bad. If we could have taken care of the Jax there, that would have made our game plan a lot better. I mean, it did have 1 energy up, so you could have added a 5, but still, like... Ooh, then he has the action, okay. That's not good. He's gonna take our bunch over here. Into that with the Jax. We're gonna punch first. Do you have anything to stop this? The fight doesn't work. So our Snapvine is potentially gonna go to 10 here. Ah, he has a Brutalizer, okay. Well, I mean, there's a trade for now. Do you get the trade? Okay, well, you actually kill his Jax. Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. Well, you don't get the bunch over back, unfortunately, but we're gonna have to give that back again. Yeah. I mean, we do have the Dorn's Ring and the Jinx here, so we can do the full cycle, which is not bad. So despite all that's happened, we're not actually looking too bad here. I also kind of want to play the auction to get the bunch over back. But the weird thing about like taking the auction there is that taking the bunch over back there is that if he kills our auction, then he is actually gonna get our gear back, which is such a weird ruling. But yeah, we're gonna discard the... It's hard. We're gonna discard the Snapvine. Okay, we get our own bunch over. Well, that could be nice. Well, we're gonna steal this Brutalizer. We know you have a Defy. We know you can't play the not so fast here. Okay, thank you. And then pass back to him. He can have a challenge, and if he does that, then, well, so be it. But that's also why we took the Brutalizer and not the bunch over, because, again, if we kill this auction, we're gonna get the bunch over, but if we steal the bunch over and he kills our auction, then he's gonna get the bunch over. For some weird reason. Okay, he has his own Brutalizer, or another one of his own. Ah, he has a challenge. Okay, takes her Jinx. Yeah, that is kind of the problem, I guess, with that whole package, is that if you have the Jinx and the ring, the Jinx becomes an instant removal target. But I mean, that is to be expected. And that is the downside of playing these colors, is that we don't have any protection. The only way of protection we have is like getting out of the way with stuff like Flash and Fireflight, but that doesn't really help against challenge. Ah, and it's Charm as well. Ooh, that's bad. That is really bad for us. We can Snapvine next turn, unless he equips something else to that. Okay, he equips to the auction, to the Aphelios. He re-equips the bunch over to the Akshan, so the Akshan is now a 6, which is very annoying because that means that we can't Snapvine him. Oh, that's very annoying. I think we just had to play out the Misfortune and then see if we can do something next turn. Another challenge here or another charm would be really devastating. Charm not as much, because then we can at least punch first. But challenge would definitely be not the best here. Okay, so Brutalizer. Another Brutalizer. Yep, and Warmock's Armor, okay. It's so annoying because this was definitely winnable. We just... Like, we could have been in a much better spot if we just drew a bit better. Like, one challenge would have been so good. I mean, I guess he did have the he did have the Defy, so I guess that wouldn't even have accomplished that much, but getting charmed and challenged really was bad for us there. Yeah, we're gonna play the Treasure Hunter. Go with the Misfortune into the Monastery here. Get a point, get a rune, ready the Treasure Hunter, so we can go into the Wild Monster as well. Hopefully get another point. Yep, thank you. And I mean, yeah, we're gonna equip the Dorn's Ring as well, actually. And then we do have the punch first here. But I mean, he has a million Brutalizers, so from the Brutalizers alone, that is gonna be plus 9 might, so if he goes all in on one unit, then this punch first is not gonna do much. Yeah, it feels like this game is slipping away from us. Yeah, punch first. Thank you. Okay, never mind. His own punch first, okay. Yep, that's it. That is dead. I don't know why I didn't equip the Warmock's Armor there, then I could have gotten a draw as well. Equips that to the Aphelios. Okay, he asked me, he forgot to buff first. Should have done that first before he attacked, and I'm like, yeah, go for it. Go for it. I was so far behind anyways that... Yeah, just play it optimally, that's fine by us. He's gonna go there as well. Okay, buff that, so that's a 6. Again, 6. We can't Akna, we can't Snapvine it. Okay, never mind, a 7, so we definitely can't Snapvine it. And here comes the challenge. Well, challenge, unfortunately, not doing much because we know he has a Defy. Okay, has not so fast as well. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the nail in the coffin there. Can use Misfortune to draw one off the Spirit Wheel. Draw a Fight or Flight. Fight or Flight could, I mean, could move one of his guys out of the way, but that doesn't amount to much in the end. Yeah, we're just gonna give him the GG there. Oops. Yeah, just give him the GG there. There was no way for us to come back from here. His units are way too big, like our Snapvine just... I mean, that's kind of the problem, I guess, with Snapvine, is that if your opponent has 6+ might unit, or 5+ actually, because in 6 he's just gonna kill himself, but 5+, then Snapvine is just useless. Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, that is kind of the way it goes sometimes. He had like not so fast, I think he had 2 not so fast, and then he had like Charm and a Challenge, so he was just able to pick our board apart. We actually did manage to kill his Jax early on, but in the end it just didn't matter because our tempo was so bad then. We had no way of coming back, so sometimes that's just how it goes. But I mean, if I were to lose to one deck, I'm glad it is the Jax deck, because that is my favorite, so... But yeah, in the end, win some and lose some. And that is going to be Beatdown Pirates. Yeah, I mean, Misfortune Bounty Hunter midrange works a lot better in set 2, because of cards like Lucian, because of cards like the Dorn's Ring with the Jinx. I mean, that's not really a card you want to play in Misfortune if you want to make Misfortune really like meta-defining, which, I mean, that's not the point of this deck. I just wanted to showcase this in the deck because I think it's a really cool text to have. But yeah, this deck is a lot better now, and of course Ruiner, like against some decks, they just can't deal with this card. It can't be targeted, so it can't be Fight or Flighted, it can't be rebuked, it can't be like damaged. It's such a powerful card against some decks. Against other decks, it doesn't really do much because it's a bit expensive, like it's understated, like 6 for 5. And then we don't have that much boost in the deck. We have the Bone Shiver and the Dorn's Ring, I guess, and of course the Punch First. But unless we have the Punch First, and this is going to be pretty easy to beat over. So yeah, but I mean, I guess some decks this is just incredible. And I love the fact that Snapvine is back. The fact that you can play Snapvine now and feel good about it is so good to me. You saw in the last game, sometimes you just get outmighted, and that's the problem with this, which I did mention in the gameplay video actually. But one of the problems with this one, if your opponent only has like overmighted units at the battlefield, is that when you play this, you have to choose something. You can't opt not to use the abilities, so then this is just going to sit in your head. You can't actually play it out, because if you play it out, it's just going to kill itself. So that is kind of a bit of a negative with this one, but I mean, that rarely comes up, your opponent having that weird of a board, but it can come up. One thing that I think I would change is I think I would probably, I mean, I don't know, I really like the Akshan, but I also could really see myself playing the factory reset, the factory recall as well, because having gear removal on action speed is really powerful when you're getting attacked into, or if your opponent has something like a spinning axe, for example, because then it can just action speed bounce that back, and then that 3 might is gone, and then you can kind of get them from there. So I think that is something that I really would like to add to this deck, maybe to the sideboard. I really like the Auction in the main deck, but maybe I could have some of those in the sideboard, maybe take on the first mage, for example. So yeah, but I mean, other than that, I think the deck functions a lot better now. The flash is really powerful. The only negative thing, I guess, about the flash is that, of course, it's really expensive. It's a lot more expensive than it should be, but it is such a powerful card because this is realistically our only form of protection in the game outside of like Fight or Flight, but Fight or Flight is a bit less flexible in that sense. And also, of course, Fight or Flight only hits 1 target, whereas Flash takes 2. So yeah, Flash is really important, unfortunately really expensive, but hopefully soon they're going to print this in some slightly easier to access way. But okay, that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope to see you in the next one, but until then, take care and bye bye.